Now she's not only asking authorship here, she is going full-blown dictatorship.
Yeah, we've lost some talk.
Hi and welcome to Flow Some Talk. I'm Tashti Floor, journalist, Hollywood truth teller, and your voice of reason in a town built on delusion. First of all, thank you all for all your positive feedback from my episode yesterday. I did talk about Isabela Ferrer and all the mess that she has created for herself the last week. It's so absurd to me that she wanted to put herself in this position. If you missed that, Isabella Ferrer basically said to the judge that she doesn't want to be subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni. She only wants to be subpoenaed by Blake Lively's team. And when Justin Baldoni is trying to subpoena her, that's harassment. So all the outlets picked it up and there were headlines everywhere. But this is not helping Isabella Ferrer in any way. And as expected, she's getting a lot more heat online right now than she ever was before, because now she's taken a stand against Justin Baldoni. She's attacked him in this legal filing, and people aren't having it. And now everyone is asking, what are you hiding, Isabella Ferrer? Why can't you show what you showed Blake Lively's team? Why can't you show it to Justin Baldoni's team? According to my lawyer, John Genga, he says that she is obliged by the law to show Baldoni's team everything that she shared with Blake Lively's team. So why is she so afraid? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out, because the judge is not going to let this slide. She can't get away from the subpoena. And now we all know that Isabella Ferrer has a secret, and she definitely doesn't want to share her text messages that she shared with Blake Lively. She doesn't want to share that to Justin Baldoni's team. I wonder what they're saying. Like, there might be a text from Blake Lively saying, hey, today the whole cast is unfollowing Justin Baldoni at 2 p.m. Be ready. Before I get into more of the stuff today, which is hilarious as well, now Blake Lively is trying to get rid of Brian Friedman, and also Ryan Reynolds has a new ad out, and Blake Lively is going to be a speaker at this event, and she's again shooting herself in the foot. It's amazing, you guys. But first, I wanted to show some clips of Isabella Ferrer when she talks about how amazing it was on the set of It Ends With Us and how comfortable she felt.
We had a phenomenal intimacy coordinator, Lizzie. She's worked on Bridgerton before, so she was extra careful with us at all times. But also there was just a lot of communication and check-ins and making sure how are you feeling, how's it going, and a lot of water, making sure we feel physically but also mentally well, just while doing such intense scenes. It can get tiring, but it was a great process, honestly.
Oh yes. And then she said this.
Just everybody was, so cooperative on set, and it was such a comfortable environment that when I see my work, I'm I feel good about it. Yeah.
It was such a comfortable environment on that set.
Makes it a lot easier when you like the person you're working with, you can get along with them.
Yeah.
Feel comfortable and safe, and especially with these kind of topics and just the intense scenes that you see and that we had to, be a part of. If you don't feel safe with the person you're working with, it can make it really difficult. So thankfully that was not a problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that as a reminder to Isabella, because either she lied in those interviews to the reporters, or the fact that she felt uncomfortable when Justin Baldoni allegedly said that was hot after one of those intimate scenes, because that's what Blake Lively claimed in her first complaint against Justin Baldoni, that he had said in a scene after Isabella Ferrer did an intimate scene, he had walked up to her and said that was hot. Either she didn't pay any attention to that at first and didn't think it was weird, maybe Justin Baldoni didn't even say it, or maybe Blake and her had a conversation after, and Blake was like, wasn't there anything uncomfortable? I know there was an intimacy coordinator there, but did anything happen before? Maybe after? What did he tell you after the scene? And then Isabella was like, oh, he said it was hot. He said it was hot? Oh my God, that's terrible. We can use that. As I said, I don't know if Justin Baldoni said that. We haven't gotten that confirmed from any other sources yet. But I'm just wondering if he did. Let's say he did, said it was a hot scene. The scene is supposed to be hot, right? And Isabella Ferrer is an actress, and she's acting this out with a man and they are doing all these intimate things together, and she knows it's going to be showed on a big screen in front of millions of people, and she doesn't feel uncomfortable with that, but she does feel uncomfortable when the director said that was hot. Just a question, I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you think that's would be out of line if he said that, or was he just pointing to the fact that the scene was hot and they did a great job? So there are more filings, you guys. I didn't have time to go through this yesterday because there's so much to talk about. So I'm going to go quickly through it today. So there's a new filing from the Wayfarer team answering to Blake Lively, who's trying to get rid of Brian Friedman. By doing that, she admits that she isn't really fighting a smear campaign. She admits that she is the smear campaign. Now she's not only asking authorship here, she is going full-blown dictatorship. So she's basically begging the judge to sanction Baldoni's lawyer, fine him, get rid of him, and kick him off the case. Why? Because he has been saying things about her in the press. And in this filing, we also can see what exactly Brian Friedman has said about her in the press that makes him a part of the smear campaign. So he has said that she's a part of the Hollywood elite. Whoa, wow, that's really awful. And then he said, documents don't lie, people do. Why is she offended by that? Because she feels like she's people? And then he joked that the deposition could sell out Madison Square Garden. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best thing to say because they've used it against him a lot, but it was a joke. Anyways, and then here is the kicker. He also said in the press that if Blake Lively wants to know who smeared her, just a mirror will do. Well said. And that's exactly what's still happening here. They're also mentioning how she's the one who actually leaked her CRD complaint to the New York Times before it was even filed. She also told the cast to unfollow Justin Baldoni on social media. That's not smearing someone. She froze him out during the movie premiere and put him in the basement, as you know. And she also refused to promote the movie with him, and she refused for him to show up at any red carpets when she was there. And as they're pointing out, what Blake Lively's team have been saying in the press about Justin Baldoni, they kept using the word Darvo, and they accused Baldoni of using an abuser's playbook. And they also painted him as a monster. And they even dragged Taylor Swift into this. They were just banking on her fan base going against Justin Baldoni, as we see now through all those text messages. He was terrified of Taylor Swift fans that he thought that she might activate against him because she kept running this smear campaign against him. But here's the thing, again, with Blake Lively, what she's proving through this entire filing is that this lawsuit is not about justice. It's not about her harassment claims. It's about her controlling the narrative. And with Brian Friedman there answering questions in the press, that doesn't allow Blake Lively to control the narrative. And again, that's exactly why she subpoenaed all the content creators to try and shut us up. And it didn't work. Again, this just tells me how much of a diva she is. This is so typical celebrity behavior. They think they're above everyone. They think they're above the law. Let's see what the judge says about this, you guys. Also, oh my God, I found this poster and I was shocked. You won't believe what Blake Lively is doing next. But before I get into that, I wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, Quince. Okay, I'm just going to be brutally honest with you guys. I love online shopping like a lot of people, and Quince is my new guilty pleasure. I just received this 14-karat gold necklace. If you watch my channel, you know that I wear a lot of gold necklaces, and I know that this is going to be one of my new favorite ones. It's elegant. It's simple. I can wear it just like this by itself, or I can layer it with other necklaces. And honestly, it feels and look much more expensive than it actually was. Quince is my new go-to for premium essentials without the premium price tag. They got everything from European linen apparel, buttery soft bamboo bedding, gorgeous Italian leather bags, and even cast iron Dutch ovens. And here's the best part, everything is priced about 50% less than similar brands. And that's because Quince works directly with top-tier manufacturers and skip the middleman. Another important thing is that they only partner with factories that follow safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And that makes you feel good about what you're wearing and using at home. I love this Mongolian cashmere boxy crew neck sweater for just $79. And I love this as a gift, this Italian leather AirPod zip case. It's $29.90. And I'm going to get this Italian suede slouchy shoulder bag for fall for $129. So now you can upgrade your wardrobe, your home, and more with high-end essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/Shashti, my name, KJERSTI, and get free shipping on your order and 365 days return. That's quince.com/Shashti, my name. You'll thank me later. Okay, back to the drama. Okay, you guys, get ready for this. Blake Lively is now trying to ruin her own lawsuit again. Remember, she wants compensation from Justin Baldoni from all the loss of her brands, one of them, of course, being Blake Brown. And now, guess what? Blake Lively is a speaker at this event, a featured speaker at Pop NYC, Glossy Pop NYC. It's happening on September 5th, you guys. So if you're in New York and you want a glimpse of Blake Lively, you can go to this event and you can hear her talk about how incredibly successful Blake Brown is. This is so funny because this is what she keeps doing all the time. She keeps bragging about how successful she is to the world. And then to Justin Baldoni in her legal filings, she keeps saying that everything is falling apart and is his fault. So listen to this. This is how this event explains Blake Lively and Blake Brown here. It says here that in August 2024, actress Blake Lively debuted her hair care brand Blake Brown, a joint venture with Give Back Beauty, which also incubated Florence by Mills with Millie Bobby Brown. With its focus on product fragrance and hair masks rather than conditioner, the brand became Target's biggest ever hair care brand launch. In its first 3.5 weeks on the market, Blake Brown earned close to $5 million. And imagine that, because this smear campaign was already ongoing and she made $5 million on Blake Brown. And they're saying this is amazing. And then it says since then, Blake Brown has launched new products, increased its repeat purchase rate by 80% year over year, and ridden a wave of interest in hair care and hair mist in particular. So they're saying that the repeat purchase rate by 80%, according to her lawsuit, she's lost about 80% of her potential sales. Yeah, isn't this quite interesting how she's now pretending that Blake Brown is super successful? I wonder what she's going to say at this event. If you go there, please record it for me. I would love to see what's going down here. If she keeps lying about how successful Blake Brown is, or if it's actually still selling decent and she's lying in court. To use Blake Lively's words against her, she says always that two things can be true at the same time. I would say that two lies could also be lies at the same time. So yesterday I spoke about this SEO manipulation thing that's going on with Blake Lively. So if you Google her, her Instagram comes up and it says that she is a human woman, mother, leader, fighter, healer, empath, risk taker, and dream maker. And then, thanks, Kathy, for sending me this. Same thing pops up when you Google and you get this People magazine article here. Same keywords. And I looked at the photo to see if the photo was tagged with these words, if that's what's happening here. And it wasn't. So I don't know how they do this kind of stuff, but this is so manipulative, you guys. So they're feeding the machine here to make it look like Blake Lively is a saint. Anyways, Ryan Reynolds also came out with a new ad. These guys cannot stop selling us stuff. And this time, I feel like he's almost inspired by his own downfall by this ad that he just posted on his Instagram. It's an ad for aviation, gin, and Wrexham. He put them together so he could even make more money. And he's showing a video being funny on how people are trashing the gin and throwing it off the shelves and throwing it in the river. So it's playbook Ryan Reynolds' sense of humor. And interestingly enough, he hasn't closed off the comment section yet. So there's a lot of entertainment there if you guys are interested to read what people are saying about Ryan Reynolds and his new ad. Anyway, someone sent me this a few weeks ago, and it's such a reminder of what Ryan Reynolds is all about. So this article is written on LinkedIn by someone called Sol Colt, who is a best-selling author and keynote speaker and an expert in marketing and PR. And he's shredding Ryan Reynolds apart. He attached this photo of him, which I thought was quite good. And he's basically talking about that astronomer scandal that happened last month, where Ryan Reynolds jumped on it straight away to monetize on this cheating scandal and putting Gwyneth Paltrow in there. And this whole ad that created a viral moment. But he says on the surface is clever, almost too clever. What it really is a well-executed PR magic trick. Classic sleight of hand. Don't look at the CEO, look at the celebrity, look at the beautiful ex-wife, look at the Coldplay, feel something. Sure, we feel something. Mostly manipulated. And then he reminds us of the Chris Noth Peloton backlash. Remember that? It ends with us. He fell off the Peloton machine and died. And then Peloton got all this backlash. And then 15 seconds later, Ryan Reynolds picked that up and spun it and made it look like Chris Noth faked his death so he could smash a younger Peloton instructor and escape his wife and kids. Hilarious. And by hilarious, I mean gross, he says. There's no brand strategy, no customer insight, no call to action, just speed. A viral sugar high followed by a brand hangover. Also, he says that Peloton supports home wrecking and staff who don't show up for work. And he adds here, don't get me started on how Peloton is doing after that ad. He says it's the ad world's equivalent of eating gas station sushi because it was right there and ready. Ryan Reynolds ads are the fast fashion of marketing. They're flashy, they're topical, they got a ton of likes, and then they disintegrate faster than a Shane blazer in a washing machine. Let's call this what it is. Marketing fast fashion. These aren't ideas built to move the business forward. They're just built to move fast, loud, viral. And then he says, like, if your primary focus is to win an award at Cannes for being creative or whatever, this is a strategy you should go for. But if you actually want your brand to survive and to do better, think again. He says that you're paying for a PR machine dressed up as a creative team. Their true client is their own reputation, not yours. Let's not pretend he's some kind of marketing oracle because he tweets funny things, has fancy friends, and gets ads out quickly. Being famous does not equal being good at marketing. If anything, it gives you an unfair advantage. People will pretend your ideas are better just so they can be near you. So true. And he says that it's the creative version of the emperor's new clothes. Except the emperor has a six-pack and Deadpool royalties. He ends this by saying Ryan Reynolds isn't the goat of advertising. He's the goat of hype. All hype fades. Results don't. Now go fire your agency if they sent this ad around saying it was brilliant. They're drunk on celebrity and needs to sober up. He says he signs this with written by someone who's built actual campaigns that moved actual dollars and didn't need a Coldplay song or a cheating scandal to do it. Thank you, Sol, for sharing this with us. I'm so tired of reading what a genius Ryan Reynolds is in marketing and his maximum effort. It's so amazing. We all know that his marketing campaign for It Ends With Us ruined his wife's career. He's the one telling Blake Lively to focus on florals, popcorn, and go out with your girlfriends and not the real subject of the movie, which was DV. He's the one who is behind all her brands as well. Of course, he's behind Betty Boos and Blake Brown, and he's the one who pushed her products through promoting It Ends With Us, and he's the one responsible for all the backlash that she got from that. So that's maximum efforts for you. Anyways, that's it for me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as usual. And if you have any ideas of things you want me to talk about, anything at all, just send me an email at flossomtalk@gmail.com or send me a DM on Instagram. I'm not that active on TikTok or other places, so Instagram and email is the best way to contact me. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Flossom Talk. And I'll see you in my next one.
Yeah, we
Bye.
Flossom Talk.